Today we're going to be ranking ramp spells on a tier list, and we're going to start off with Belle's suggestion, the Dark Ritual. So the Dark Ritual, I really don't know what else to say except it's one of the most broken spells in the game. It's a 1-mana instant to add triple black to your mana pool. Now, I think originally this card was meant to be ramping out creatures onto the battlefield, but we know as time went on, that's not what it's being used for. I mean, it's just a way of mostly comboing off. Yes, how can we combo off as quickly as possible? Well, 1 mana net 3, or say net 2, is not that bad in this game. In fact, it's pretty insane, pretty broken. So for that, Dark Ritual can definitely have a high spot on this tier list. I don't see it going anywhere than less than S, to be honest. I don't know if it's worse than... I don't know if it's worse than Soul Ring. I mean, it's definitely worse than Soul Ring, but I think it's still up there. I think it's one of the best in the history of the game. Is Tolarian a cat? Okay, do you know what? I think I'm wrong. I'm gonna put Dark Ritual down here because I don't think it can hold a candle to this damn card. Okay, you know what? I'm sadly mistaken. Instantaneously regret. Because we'll go with the Academy, the Tolarian Academy. Yeah, that sort of puts things into perspective real quick. Maybe this card, maybe even Dark Ritual is still too high at A tier. All right, Tolarian Academy, you are unbelievably busted at tapping to add a blue to your mana pool for each artifact you control. Imagine that in today's metagame. Anywhere with all the treasure tokens and your ability to put just to ramp out, you know, so I mean, it's so easy to have at least one Chrome Mox or Soul Ring or some sort of diamond onto the battlefield. Soul Ring will always add for 1, but usually will add for 2. It is or 3 or 4 or more. Tolarian Academy, definitely one of the most busted lands in all of the game. They will not unban it. Damn it, why don't they unban the Tolarian Academy? Okay, this is definitely S tier. Beautiful, beautiful S tier. All right, we're gonna go with the super chats. I'm gonna get back to you, Belle, because I started the show with you. We're gonna start with Kagan. High Tide, interesting suggestion. You know, well, let's get an original High Tide. Here we go. This looks familiar to me. It's a blue instant. Until end of turn, all islands produce an additional blue when tapped for mana. Now, there are some infinite mana combos with this type of effect. For example, chaining this with, was it Palinchron? To put onto the battlefield, bring it back to your hand, and rinse and repeat, because when it enters the battlefield, you untap all your islands, which add double blue. That's a pretty good combo. It can add a lot of money. Sorry, not a lot of mana, which it might as well be money in this game. A lot of mana when you are trying to combo off with Candelabra of Thanos. But that's about it. So it's some very specific combos. Not really. I don't think you can just jam this into anything. I could be wrong. Like, does this see a whole lot of play outside of... Does this even see play that much play in Commander? I don't know. Not a huge fan of High Tide. I think it's jank. It's not the worst jank in the world, so I'll put in the B tier. I've seen jankier. We've seen worse on this show. Okay, next up. We will go to Will Anderson. The Green Sun's Zenith. Oh yeah! Green X Sorcery. Search your library for a green creature card with mana value X or less, put onto the battlefield, and shuffle. Shuffle Green Sun Zenith into its owner's library. Now this card has one purpose and one purpose only. To find the Dryad Arbor. There is absolutely no other point. This is a pretty crappy ramp spell otherwise. I mean, I guess you could ramp into like a 3 or 4 mana ramp spell. Like some sort of mana dork that adds like 3 mana. But usually this is just 1 mana, get Dryad Arbor. So it's just like, it's efficient. It's a ramp spell that can also be a win condition. We put in the A tier. It's just good. It goes into the good pile. It goes down the square hole. Okay, we have some insight about High Tide. Sean Abbott says, I use High Tide super good for a combo, but situation. Exactly. It's a situational combo card, unfortunately. Oh, we got Gleb, Azusa, Lost But Seeking. Ooh, that's a good one, Azusa. An absolute classic. Hey, Nikachu, how's your tournament? What do you mean, how's my tournament? My tournament was great. I actually won the damn tournament. I am the champion. I am the champion of Modern Horizons 3 until the Pro Tour happens, and then there'll be a much more decisive champion. Okay, Azusa, Lost but Seeking. We have a green 2 generic 1/2 human monk. You may play an additional 2 lands on each of your turns, and let me tell you, with bounce spells, this is pretty sick. And if you get to put any of your lands back into your hand, you can replay them for the turn. What else does Azusa combo with? So yeah, if there are ETB triggers, that is good. If you can bounce your lands back to your hand, that is good. Azusa playing, you could blow up your own lands, and then with Crucible of Worlds, just bring the lands back from your graveyard constantly. So if you have like a lot of utility lands that like sacrifice this, get an effect, sack that, Azusa helps bring them back super fast from the graveyard. So it's actually a really good ramp spell. Fantastic. A+. Not supremely broken, but you know what? Reliable. Absolutely reliable. A tier. 2 lands at one time. 2 lands at the same time, man. Okay, Mean Brule. We got Tempt with Discovery. What I discover in the dungeon of Legend of Zelda. Tempt with Discovery. Sounds like some sort of lawyer speak. We have Discovery, Your Honor. Okay, we have a green 3 generic sorcery. Tempting offer. This also still sounds like law to me. Okay, search your library for a land card and put onto the battlefield. Each opponent may search their library for a land card and put onto the battlefield. For each opponent who searches the library this way, search your library for a land card, put onto the battlefield. Then each player who searched the library this way shuffles it. Which means, if they get land, you get land. And whenever you get land, you also get land. Because you got a land. It says you get land anyway. So you search your library for a land. Anyone else want a land? It's possible they'll give you nothing, though, right? So I guess this can just end up being just a 4-mana ramp. It's honestly a little bit poop. How often are people tempted by Discovery? You know what? I'm not impressed with this card. I think if your opponents are playing like a little bit janky, they could play into it, but really no one should give you more lands. Everyone should just unanimously say, okay, you're getting nothing. That's it. You can have 1 land. Thank you very much. And then that's that. 4 mana? 4 mana ramp spell? Absolutely pathetic. No chance for that card to see any serious play. It only work if your opponents are greedy with a tempting offer. Patrick says, they always say we shouldn't, but then one person does and the rest of them do too. Oh, just ruin. Is this a prisoner's dilemma situation? There's some game theory scenario where everyone has to hold down pat, but if one person doesn't, then everyone else has an incentive to all go for it, and then basically let the person who was casting temp with the Discovery basically run away with the game. Wow, that could put 4 cards in play. Well, okay, so theoretically, bad. Practically speaking, maybe good. Okay, we got Bell. Thank you very much for your super chat, Bell. The World Soul's Rage. World Soul. The Rage. This is a red-green X sorcery. Deals X damage to any target. Now put up to X land cards from your hand and or graveyard onto the battlefield. I was about to say this is crap, but then it said from your graveyard, and now this card just like this card's pretty good in my mind now. And not to mention it also deals damage, so you do a little bit of ramp. You do a little ramp and smack. I don't know. That I can't think of something that rhymes with ramp and punches someone in the face. Maybe someone can help me here. Ramp and stamp? Sounds like cheating. I'm gonna ramp. We ramp and stamp. All right, we ramp and stamp with the okay. World Soul's Rage. Where do I put this? Probably B tier. I don't think it's still not that great. You're probably gonna tap out for this thing. It's not bad though. Maybe this is better than I think it is. It's not direct. Like, you have to fill your graveyard. Step 1, fill the graveyard. Step 2, bring those lands back. If they're just lands from your hand, I don't think this is really worth it. I like the idea. Ramp and tramp? Ramp and cramp? Cramp doesn't sound very strong. I'm gonna ramp and cramp you. Oh yeah, they're gonna be scared. They're gonna be scared in your booties. Booties it is. Okay, Alan Baird with Entiche Restoration. What does that mean? Entiche Restoration. This is a green 2 generic instant. Sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, instead search your library for up to 3 basic land cards, put onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Not bad. Not bad. So three mana to ramp a land onto the battlefield is not the worst thing in the world. It is just a basic though. But if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which could be your commander, then you're going to be putting 3 basics onto the battlefield and 3 mana for 3 lands. I mean, that's like a dark ritual onto the battlefield that you can use over and over and over again. Still, they're only basic lands. They're not very exciting lands, so B tier. Very, very, very B tier around here. We got Jevel with the artificial, sorry, the automated artificer. It's a 2 mana 1/3 artificer tapped at a colorless. Spend this mana only to activate an ability or cast an artifact spell. Do we consider this ramp or a mana dork? Do we have any creatures on this thing yet? I think I might consider this a mana dork. Mana dork! I'm sorry, this is gonna be add color. Spend this ability only to activate an ability or cast. No, I have to disqualify this. Sorry about this, Javil. This would be considered a mana dork because it's a creature. It's got to be like this one-time effect, or I guess Azusa is like a multiple-time effect. But you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean by now. Because it is disqualified, we are going to donate your donation to Patrick. Oh no, that's not a suggestion. Oh boy, the mana Seism. This is a real card. I thought you misspelled it. Red 1 generic sorcery. Sacrifice any number of lands. Add 1 colorless to your mana pool for each land sacrificed this way. This is terrible. This is just this is supremely bad. Like, when is this good? Like on turn 20? I'm going to sacrifice all my lands for 1 mana. Let's talk about, I don't know, cutting open the golden goose. To get that one, to get no eggs. There won't even be any eggs in that golden goose. Try to get them all at once. Oh boy. I think this is garbage. I think this is, well, yeah, I'm gonna put in the D tier. It's that bad. I definitely don't want to be sacrificing my, I mean, I guess it's like the last ramp spell you might want to play. Like on turn 20. To cast your like big chonky thing. So how much mana can you add with this thing? If you tap for 5, pay 2, sack all your lands, you have 8. I guess that's okay. I might be underrating this card. Yeah, exactly. But what if you could just tap for mana? Very interesting idea, Gleb. Wonder if some people have heard of it. Okay, tap a shell. The Braid of Fire. Braid of Fire is a red 1 generic enchantment. Cumulative upkeep. Add red to your mana pool. I think this thing is very dangerous. I think this is great. Now, you can only use Braid of Fire mana during your upkeep. Who cares? I think this card's amazing. I'm putting it in the A tier. I like that card a lot. Okay. I'm wondering, does this even qualify here? I guess so. Next super chat from Jess. We got the Seething Song. Have you know Seething Song is banned in Modern. 3 mana instant. Add sorry, I don't even. Okay, it goes double, triple, quadruple, quintuple. Then I think it's sextuple after that. Sextuple I'm sure of. Quintuple I'm not nearly as sure of, but I might be right, I might be wrong. I don't really have much to say about this. I mean, it's just a decent the strong ramp spell, sort of in the Dark Ritual range. Person is casting a flame of something. The flame of something. It's reliable. A tier. Next up, we'll take one from Christopher B. Culling the Week. Culling the Week is a black mass or sacrifice a creature. Add quadruple black to your mana pool. That is absolutely nuts. Now that, and it's only 1 mana. So if you have like tokens, I mean, this will just ramp like crazy. I think this is absolutely disgusting. 3 creatures add 12 mana. 4 creatures add 16. And that we're not even accounting how much synergy this has with us. So it has synergy with tokens, persist, undying. You might have synergy with like revolt if you need to pull that thing off. What else does it have? The possibilities are endless, and it's only one. Oh, is it an instant? Sorry, I thought it was an enchantment. That's okay. That's still like. What did I even do this for? There we go. It said instant over here. I misread what I saw over here. Island is not a spell. I mean, it's not. You're right. Anyway, Culling the Week is still a very, very strong card. For like 1 turn, you're going to get an explosive amount of mana, and it's going to be a danger. A danger, in my opinion. So we're going to have this in the S tier. We're going to put this right next to Tolarian Academy. How much mana have you made with Culling of the Week? I've made none because I don't play black. Read the updated. Yeah, it's funny that it's called a mana source. I mean, I should have known anyway. Dark Ritual was also a mana source at one time. Once upon a beta era. Okay, next up we got John with unconventional ramp, Hugh the Entwood. Alright, 5 mana sorcery. It's sort of new. It's a Lord of the Rings card. Sacrifice any number of lands, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands sacrificed this way. Choose any number of artifacts and or land cards revealed this way. Put all non-land cards chosen this way onto the battlefield. Then put all land cards chosen this way onto the battlefield tapped. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. How the hell is this ramp? Unless the artifacts, like, ramp for a lot. That's the only way I can see this card working. So you basically sack all your lands with the anticipation of getting some artifacts like Grim Monolith, for example, because the artifacts are very likely to add more mana than your regular lands. But other than that, I don't know how this works. And also, when do you sacrifice the land? I guess you sacrifice at resolution. Ooh, some of you are going to be, are very active in chat, are you? Does anyone play, by the way, while I adjust, hold on. While I adjust the speed of everybody's chatting, does anyone play Hugh the Entwood in any of their decks? Does this see play anywhere at all? There's also the chance that you sacrifice all lands, you just get a bunch of lands, so you didn't even ramp whatsoever, period, in the first place. Wouldn't that be a terrible consequence of your actions? You can't even guarantee ramp out of this. All right, I'll take a big picture of this big log over here, and I'm gonna put in the C tier. Not only do I think this is unconventional ramp, it is not clear to me that you will ramp with this type of card. Okay, next up. Here's Tommy wants something clean and easy. Soul Ring. I have nothing. Oh, let's get a Soul Ring that looks familiar to us. There we go. Speed run, speed run. We got to speed run this. Okay, in the S tier. Next. We're done with Soul Ring. We just had to do that for the sake of, you know, it's ramp. Ramp is ramp around here. The Abyss Soul, Guy's Blessing. Sorry, Guy's Balance. Sack 5 lands, search for 6. If you have waste, That's without any of the other tricks to return lands to play from your graveyard. Gaia's Balance? Sack 5 lands. 4 mana sorceries. Additional cost to play Gaia's Balance. Sacrifice 5 lands. Search library for a land card of each basic land type and put them into play. Then shuffle your library. I don't get how this works. It's basic lands. Sack 5 lands. Search for 6 if you have wastes. That's without any of the other tricks to return lands to play from your... Oh, hold on. Wastes count? Search your library for a land card of each basic land type. Ah! So we're spending 4 mana to get a wastes in play. But we'll have perfect mana because we can get an island, mountain, plains, swamp, and forest. Interesting. I hate it. I hate it. C tier. It is technically ramp. We'll pay 4 mana to net 1 mana. God, that's terrible. I think. Red and 6 technically doesn't ramp. It's just, Red and 6 makes land drops for the turn. What can I say? Oh, it doesn't work like that? Well, then we can move it lower. We can go straight to D tier. Even though it's not, if it doesn't find the wastes, then it technically just doesn't even ramp, period. Next up. Okay, Javil. Okay. Javil wants redemption. And he's going to get it with Kadama of the West Tree. Which tree? There's a lot of trees here. Holy crap. Okay, the West Tree. The West Flank. 3 mana, 3/3 spirit with reach. Modified creatures you control have trample. They got equipment auras you control and counters are modifications. Now, whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. It's not bad. Not bad. Reminds me of Ophidian. But instead of drawing cards, we're actually ramping our battlefield. Not to mention, modified creatures have trample too, so it'll help send in that damage. You try to block me? Well, you got to block everything. You know chump blocking here. No 1/1 squirrel. You're gonna need the whole 15 squirrels to deal with the 15/15 Emrakul. Old boy says, recalling the week's update Oracle text, you only ever sacrifice 1 creature. Really? Okay, hold on. Let me finish off Kodama of the West Tree. I like this card. I wouldn't say it's busted, but I like the card. B tier. I have a feeling this card's too good for the B tier, but it's not good enough for the A tier. Let me look at this card again. Reach. No, F it, I'm giving it A tier. That's actually pretty good. You just have to hit some random person and you ramp cards. Does it trigger for each creature? Whenever a modified creature... Oh, it has to be modified. Okay, we're going to go back down a bit. Boop! Okay, that's fine. That's exactly where it belongs, in the B tier. Okay, let's look up Calling of the Week. Okay, as an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. Holy crap. Okay. A tier. That honestly is quite terrible. What was the... We only had 1 card. All right, thank you very much for that Oracle text. It was funny. I have it right in front of me. Like, I can see it. But I just opt not to read it. I like reading the ancient scripture. Okay, next up. Almond wants Battle Hymn. It's red Gaia's Cradle. Add red to your mana pool for each creature you control. That's not bad. It's not bad. Step 1, you need the creatures. You do need the creatures. And I wouldn't call it Gaia's Cradle. Gaia's Cradle is allowed to be compared to, like, a very few other cards, like Cabal Coffers, Tolarian Academy. Battle Hymn is not a Gaia's Cradle. But you know what? It's a nice ritual. It's a nice ritual. B tier. Do treasures count as ramp? Absolutely. You have a dragon card you'd like to suggest, Draconic? And I'm sure you do. But we're going to start with Backtard with the Spirit Guides. Tolarian Academy is a land, by the way. You don't want to, you guys want to disqualify the Tolarian Academy? Okay, what's the vote on Tolarian Academy? Is it ramp? Is it ramp or is it get the hell out of here? Okay. Do we count any ramp? All right, we're not counting Tolarian Academy. There's too much. It's too controversial. The Soul Ring stands alone. Ramp. We have some people. Ramp should count lands. No is land. On trail. It's ramp, but not. It's not a spell. Azusa is a creature too. Well, Azusa is a spell in some sense. It certainly isn't a ramp spell. Well, oh! I said, hold on. I'm adjusting the show. Hold on. I didn't mean to make it call it spells. That's my bad. No, you guys are right. We're now ranking mana ramp on a tier list. There, it's just mana ramp. You know what? You guys are right. I didn't mean for it to be... okay, hold on. Bring back Tolarian Academy. We're bringing it back. You're back, Tolarian. Okay, sorry about that. It can be any ramp. Any ramp you want. Okay, okay, back to Backtard. Backtard had a super chat, by the way. The Spirit Guides. Simeon Spirit Guide. 3 mana for the 2/2. Exile Spirit Guide from your hand. Add a red mana. So strong, it got banned in Modern. I don't really have anything to say about that. Harambe left us too soon. But on Harambe's own accord. Okay, now hopefully we blew everything open. It could be anything. Holy crap, Nadu, that's right. Nadu is unbelievable. I don't even know if you can consider this mana ramp because like if Nadu is ramping, probably the game is over. 3 mana, 3/4 flyer. Creatures control have whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. Come at me with your removal spells, bud. It does nothing but make me stronger. S tier. Our newest S tier. Welcome to club, buddy. Does Metamorphose count? Absolutely not. Yeah, I know with Pyromancer Ascension, it can under the right circumstances, we can make anything look like a ramp spell, but not a ramp spell. Does Ether Vial count? No, I'm not counting Ether Vial. It is extra mana though. It's very slow though. Very slow mana. Mr. Deadhead, Tower, Mind, and the other. Oh, it's not even called Mind. It's called Mine. Urza Tower. Urza's Tower. Tap for colorless. If you control an Urza's Mine and an Urza's Power Plant, add triple colorless instead. Card is great, but not quite the big leagues as the other ones. Can be held back by Wasteland and everything. A tier. Very, very nice card, though. All right, now that we've set the show in the right direction, now we know where the hell we are going here. It's time to thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. Oh, the deal of the week is to trade in your cards for an extra 35% bonus, which I absolutely always take advantage of when I have cards to trade in. And also, don't forget, Assassin's Creed is coming around the corner. Maybe you're going to want to go get them Assassin's Creed cards at FusionGamingOnline.com to update your Modern. It's going to be Modern legal. The Modern format just got upheavaled, turned over its head. Now we have another Modern set coming out soon. And Bloomborough. The Bloomborough play boosters and set. You like fuzzy little creatures. You like, hey, there's gotta be squirrels in this thing, right? There's gotta be. They're gonna turn squirrels tier 1. And you can support the channel buying all your upgrades from Bloomborough and Assassin's Creed by buying from FusionGamingOnline.com. And don't forget that everything at checkout gets 5% off all your purchases. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Why would you want to rent online? It's cheaper if you like to play a lot of decks. If they ban a card like Grief and Legacy, well, it's okay. They ban Mana Traders Grief, not your Grief. And you get to play more decks that way. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_OKM for great justice. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to business. Where were we now? I lost my train of thought here. Sheelan with the Arboreal Grazer. You know what? This card is going to make me move some stuff around on this tier list. It's a green 0/3 beast with reach. When Arboreal Grazer enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. This is the green Mox Diamond that can block. You tell me the difference between this and Mox Diamond outside of the fact that this is literally a creature. Fantastic. Amazing card. 1 mana ramp. That's all you need. Why spend so much money on Mox Diamond when you can get an Arboreal Grazer? It's as simple as that. We got Lewis Terran with Fanatic of Ronus. Oops, Fanatic of Ronus. Oh, this is a new card. Yeah, the 2 mana 1/4 snake, tapped, add a green, ferocious, tap, add quadruple green, activate only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. It's got. Why'd they bring Eternalize back? They just like to grab random mechanics from all the past sets and just jam them into Modern Horizons 3 for some reason. I think I like the card, but it hasn't proven itself yet. This card could be like really good or really stinky. I assume it's going to be really good, but you know what? It has some proving to do, so I'm going to put in the B tier. I think it deserves to be in the A tier, but I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, we got some super chat. We got Henrik with the Sarah's Sanctum. Sarah's Sanctum. Tap, add add a white to your mana pool for each enchantment you control for the Enchantress decks. Really have nothing to say if you play a lot of enchantments. You don't even need to play many. Like, if you're up to 2 enchantments, you're gold. This is also an S tier level card. Crappier version of Tolarian Academy, but crappier version of Tolarian Academy is still a Tolarian Academy. Waste is basic. How else do you play Eldrazi Commander? Huh? Is there like some argument over this wastes thing a long time ago? Okay, Pejman says, playing standard on MTG Arena right now with the Nissa Resurgent Animist. Resurgent Animist. Is she like a veterinarian? Oh god, this card! Land. 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Then, if this is the second time this ability is triggered or is resolved this turn, which how hard can it be with fetch lands? Reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental card. Even that elf can help you ramp. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I hate this card. It always finds elementals, and those elementals always kick my ass. So for that reason, A tier. I think this card's really, really good. A little too good. You look around your deck until you find them elemental. You look directly for it. Okay, next up. I don't think cards have Crewfix ramps, right? You can just play lands from the top of your library. That's not really a ramp card. And you gain life, but still not ramp. Dragonic Sarkhan Fireblood. Where are the planeswalkers? Well, we need to put them on the tier list. The 3 mana 3 loyalty, +1. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. +1, add 2 mana any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells. That is insanely narrow. Maybe a little too narrow for my taste. -7, create 4 5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. That's gonna take you, what, 4 turns to pull off? And it just rummages? I don't really find this card very impressive. I think this is pretty underwhelming. Sorry about that, Dragon fam, but this is not the ramps. I mean, here's the thing. If I'm in a dragon deck, I actually think this is quite good. So I think this is like narrowly strong. You get to, like, I don't know, get some sort of value out of this. Outside of dragon deck, this is awful. Like, you have to be literally just in dragons. Ramp for 2 in a I know, you ramp for 2 in dragon decks. But it's like, it's so narrow. It's literally just dragon decks. How many dragons do you have in your regular deck of nothing? We want me to maybe I can push it up a little bit here. We give it to the beat. We'll give it B tier treatment. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a buff. Outside of that, we'll not see play anywhere else. It would not even see play in a burn deck. Sell the wreckage. That's like that's like a ramp spell that you don't really have control over. Okay. Maddie, open the way. This is the way. It's pretty good in EDH. I'll sort of believe you. It is a green X sorcery. X can't be greater than the number of players in the game. Alright, so 4 it is then. Reveal cards to the top of your library until you reveal X land cards. Put those land cards onto the battlefield tapped and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Cards on the top of your library until you reveal X land cards. We have to keep revealing until we hit 4. Put those lands onto the battlefield tapped. Yeah, it is not bad. It's not bad. That's all I'm going to say about it. Who am I going to take a picture of? It looks like they're running off to do a little kissy-kissy. All right. An adventure together. B tier. Yolchen says, I used Burnishing Heart in my Lisa deck, the one that returns your dead creatures to your hand. Speaking to Patrick, I used Burnishing Heart. Burning Heart? Burnished? Oh, sorry, Burnished? Burnished? Okay, I don't know what this card is. Moving on. Sean, Elvish Pioneer. Green 1/1 comes into play. You may put a basic land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. This is like a lot crappier. This is infinitely worse than the Arboreal Grazer. I guess it's better than nothing, though. Okay, B tier. Basic land. Actually, you know what? It has to be basic land. C tier. What if you have no basic land? Then it just basically does nothing. And that's not a good rate. Okay, the King Eduardo with the handsome Yavimaya Elder. The Yavimaya Elder is a 3-mana 2/1 human druid. When it dies, though, you may search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Then shuffle. This doesn't ramp at all! I mean, it's value, but that's not ramp. You literally aren't getting ahead on the board. Not ramp. Alan Barrett, it's Steve. Who is that? Sakura Tribe Elder? Ugh, they changed. This is. What the hell is this? Nicol Bolas? Is that Nicol Bolas? Seriously? Looks like Nicol Bolas. Okay, this is the original. Snake Shaman. Looks half snake, half turtle to me. 2-mana 1/1. Sacrifice it. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tap. Then shuffle your library. Do an old chump block. The old chump block and sack. Okay, this is not a bad card. A tier. Has seen tournament play. Next up, we've got Javil again. I've been seeing landfall decks with Aftermath Analyst. And lots of fetch lands. Okay, this is a 2-mana 1/3. Enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Pay 4, sacrifice it. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I think this is a bit janky. Like, it's fine. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put it like it's okay. It's not. I wouldn't say it's strong though. It really also depends on the game being really slow. Like no one's being really aggressive or trying to win the game super fast. So I'll put in the D tier. Like that whole 2 mana for a 1/3 that does not very much. You might even mill 3 cards that aren't lands, and then you have to spend an additional 4 mana. It's a little much. What's the criteria for this? Anything that adds more mana, like not the Zilla's Krark Clan Ironworks. All hell breaks loose in this show. Okay, 4 mana, sacrifice an artifact to add 2 mana to your mana pool. But we all know the artifact X. They never stop at 1. You could even convert treasures into double the mana. Treasures go burr. So does the Krark Clan Ironworks. S tier. Absolute S tier. What a beast of a card for mana. You can go for not much mana to a billion mana in one shot. For Ginka with the Eternal Domination. Is it Domination or Dominion? Search target opponent's library for an artifact, creature, land card. Put that card into play under your control, then that player shuffles their library. This is terrible. Search target opponent's library for an artifact, creature, enchantment. So it's like a land. This is the crappiest ramp spell of all time. You spent 10 mana to get one land in play. I'm just gonna put that in the D tier. That is just awful. Awful for Ginka. What are you ramping to? What is that, like a ramp spell for Emrakul? Slowly get that 15 mana and get your play group to kick you out because you're playing bang cards in your deck? Islarf. The Soul Bright Flamekin. 2 mana for a 2/1, pay 2. Target creature gains trample until end of turn. If this is the third time this the ability resolved this turn, you may add red. So you basically net 2 mana to your mana pool. But you have 6 mana already. What would you need that mana for? This is also a bit poopy. It looks like this person is just dying over here. Well, you do to net 2 mana, but at the cost of 6. 6 will buy you 2. Buy 6 t-shirts, get the extra one free. Okay, got Crowcore Games. Storm the Vault. Storm them. Read both sides. Academy at home. Hold on, I'll give you a different super chat here. Storm the Vault. 4 mana, legendary enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap. Sacrifice this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And then at the beginning of your end step, if you control 5 or more artifacts, transform. Storm the Vault. And we've got a Tolarian Academy. Add a blue to your mana pool for each artifact you control. But the only problem is the whole, splashing red, playing this as a legendary enchantment, dealing damage to the opponent. If you control 5 or more artifacts. I guess the 5 or more artifacts thing is not too difficult, though. It's not terrible. I don't think it's great, though. Yeah, this is definitely Tolarian Academy at home. That's how they did it back then. Oops. That's how you reprint the reserve list. You just put it on a flip card. Where's our flip card Lotus, everyone? Where's the flip card Lotus? Pacers, fan forever, the guy's cradle. S tier, no discussion. The only thing controversial about guy's cradle is how damn expensive it is. Next super chat coming from King Ginger, Gigantha. I saw Giganta actually ramp for the first time, I don't know, like maybe within the last, I guess within a week or 2. I completely forgot it had that ability. It's a 5 mana 5/5, it's companion. No card in your starting deck has more than one of the same mana semblance mana cost. Tap to head, Wooberg! This mana can't be spent to pay generic mana cost. I can't remember, I think it was maybe it was within the last week. I think it was a Storm deck. They got Giganta, played it, and then used it to, like, basically storm off. And then I realized, oh, you have more mana than I thought you do. Well, that's a problem. Milo, Ashnod's Altar. Great combo. It's true. It's like the combo enabler. 3-mana artifact. Sack a creature to add double colorless to your mana pool. Basically a staple everywhere. Unique combo, man. You might want to get yourself an Ashnod's Altar. I think this is an S tier level card. It's that good. Combo City. It was born. The city was... It's basically a combo city card. Steve Cooper. Earlier, it was Burnished Heart, not Burnished Heart. Oh, was it? Oh, it was actually spelled... you know what? I thought they spelled it wrong. And then, it didn't correct me. I want to give you a different super chat sound effect. Okay, so it's Burnished Heart. Okay, I don't know who the hell's card this was, so sorry about that. 3 mana for a 2/2, pay 3. Sack the Heart. Search library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. This is like, you have to spend more mana to get mana out of this thing. I'm not really a fan of this. I don't really like these cards where you have to like spend more mana to get the mana. I'd prefer that if I spend mana up front. I just want the mana immediately. Just give it to me. Damn it. Okay, 4 freebies. Restian Serpentine, Wild Growth. It's okay. Green aura. Whenever channel land is tapped for mana, they add a green. That is damn resourceful. That's decent. B tier. But still decent. Next up, we got Dinglebag with Palladium Mirror. That card's terrible. Because all the mirrors are terrible. 3 mana, 2/2. Oh, is this one of the best ones? I think this is the best mirror that does this because it's a soul ring. 3 mana, 2/2 to add double colorless. I still actually do not like these types of cards. I think they are... they're a little bit sad. I'm sorry, mirror players. This thing dies too easily. This ain't no soul ring around here. I'm going to put in the C tier. And believe me, if you named any of the other mirrors, I'd put them in the D tier. Let's say... Okay, we have more freebies. David with the Scourge Familiar. One of my favorite dorks in Reanimate theme. This is a 5 mana 3/2 Phyrexian Imp. Flying, discard a card, add a black mana. Huh. But you have so much mana as it is. How are you at 5 mana and you still have cards in hand to ramp into something else? Very ugly face, by the way. The Scourge Familiar. I don't like it very much. C tier. I think you'd have to build this around like some sort of madness deck or some deck that doesn't mind the cards going into the graveyard. And then even then, I don't know. Who did we not get yet? A Blackbird. Cryptolith Rite. Cryptolith Rite. For token decks. It's a 2-mana enchantment. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I guess this is considered ramp, and it's pretty good. Basically, every creature you have on the battlefield, now you're adding mana. Think of the token decks, people. The token decks. With great tokens come great responsibility. With what they can do with that mana. Okay, I think that was 4. Those 4 donations. Bell. You seem to like ramp, Bell. You know what? I think you're a ramp person. Fast Bond, only legal in Vintage. Well, it's only legal in Vintage because there's not a lot of formats where this is legal in the first place. Yeah, it's banned in Legacy and then just not available in the other formats because they never reprinted it. Green enchantment, you may play any number of lands on each of your turns. Whenever you play a land, if it wasn't the first land you played this turn, it deals 1 damage to. It's almost like a self Bowmasters. Try to draw too many cards, Bowmaster pings you. Try to draw too many lands, Fast Bond pings you. I think I should have had another tier between S and A. I don't think I don't think Fastball belongs in A, but I don't think it belongs in S either. Next up, we got Wild Growth in there. Yeah, it was Eternal Dominion, but I play for that one junk achievement unlock combo. Hold on, Eternal Dominion. Oh, okay, yeah. I play for that one junk achievement unlock combo, so everyone in my group is already used to it. Oh, yeah, gotcha. We put that in like the bottom tier, right? Yeah, D. The latest of the D tier. That's for sure. Gideon, Mana Vault. One of the best. You are the best around. No one ever gonna bring you down. You are the best. You Commander players are so lucky you get to play with these busted nonsense cards. Rest of the world can't. Phyrexian Altar. We did that one already. We're gonna donate that one. Or hold on, did we do that? Hold on, Phyrexian Altar. Oh, we didn't. Okay, sorry. That super chat is legit. Okay, 3 mana. Sacrifice a creature, add 1 mana of any color. I think it's good. It's not double colorless, but you know, it's not bad. Sack outlet is a sack outlet. A tier. Dusty with Omnath. Locus of Creation. Honestly, I don't look at this card as like a ramp spell, but you're not wrong. It's a 4-mana 4/4 ETB. You get to draw a card. Now, whenever a land enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life, but that's not all. Because when another land enters the battlefield under your control, you're going to get 4 mana. And then if a third land enters the battlefield, you smack your opponent for like 4 damage. I don't really see this. It's more of a value engine than a ramp spell, but it do ramp. Okay, S tier. Very, very strong. Next up, Haste of Fan Forever with the Elvish Spirit Guide. Well, that is a very silly card to suggest. Because we already did Elvish Spirit Guide. It's just gonna go to the top. What's the original? There we go. The original Elvish Spirit Guide. Looks like Santa's a little elves. See me one for S tier, so will the Elvish Spirit Guide. I thought the Spirit Guides, they were sort of self-explanatory here. If one's at S tier, the other one will. Epic Nate with the Mavonne Acid Moss. I sort of like this card. Mavonne Vol. I don't think we spelled this right, Epic Nate. But we got there. Or maybe I didn't spell it right. Okay, we have a green 2 generic sorcery. We are going to step 1, blow up the land. But with that land, we're going to get land. Search your library for a force card and put that card onto the battlefield tapped. What do we even take a picture from here? Some random part of the image. You know what? I don't think I can give it, with good conscience, A tier, but I can give it B tier. I like this card a lot. I think it's a good one. It's a bit underrated. We got William Boyfriend, or BF, sorry. Could stand for boyfriend, could stand for anything. Could stand for best friends. Best friends forever. I like a Moonsnare prototype. As it is in standard, also for broken ones, there's Wilderness Reclamation. Oh no, we can stick to this one. It's a blue artifact, tap and untap artifact you control to add a colorless mana. Yeah, it's okay. It's really underwhelming though on the grand scheme of this type of show. But it's okay. I don't know if we can even can I put this in the B tier? No, I gotta move it one down. It's just a little too crappy. I think it's good though. It's somewhere between C and B for sure. Next super chat, Reston Serpentine with the Lake of the Dead. I'll show you the dead. Now, if Lake of the Dead would enter the battlefield, sack a swamp instead. If you do, put Lake of the Dead onto the battlefield. If you don't, put it into its owner's graveyard. Tap out a black to your mana pool, or tap to sacrifice a swamp for 4 black mana. That card's insane. That is ramp. What is the original? There we go. Need the original. Get to get that screeching face over there. Super S tier. It's interesting how heavily weighted this tier list is to the S tier cards. Who hasn't got a card yet? Bojack Yellow, the Apprentice Wizard. This sounds like a terrible card. Any wizard, like, basically is not very good at adding mana. Okay, I stand corrected. We have the Apprentice Wizard. 3 mana for a 0/1. Pay a blue, tap, add triple colorless to your mana pool. I like it. I like it a lot. A tier. I have eaten my words. Completely eaten my words. Okay, we got some support for West Coast games. Nikachu, I like. Relic of Sauron. I didn't know Sauron had relics around. Okay, this is a 4 mana artifact. Tap, add 2 mana in any combination of black, blue, or red. Pay 3, tap, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. This card is pretty interesting. So it's basically 4 mana, add 2. And on top of that, you can like actually net cards out of this. I think this is strong. It's very strong. I don't know if it's S tier, but it's definitely A tier. Definitely worthy of being put in everyone's deck. Pacers fan forever. Channel is so good that it got banned. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I have a beta channel. It's worthless because there's no one who wants this beta channel. Okay, we got a green sorcery. Also, I should mention, like, the original image is ugly as hell. It's just terrible. But this Magic Online version, I like this one. I think this is Magic Online. Maybe this is just from the set that it came out. Okay, green. Sorcery. Until end of turn, anytime you could activate a mana ability, you can pay 1 life instead. If you do, you add a colorless to your mana pool. I would like to pay 19 life, please. Emrakul of the Ion Storm, please. Right this way, sir. Okay, Hamad Shah. Traverse the Outlands. Whoops, hold on. We gotta rank this thing. We didn't rank channel. Yeah, absolutely. This is S tier. All right, Traverse the Outlands. 5 mana sorcery. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. So we're searching our library for X basic lands, where X is the greatest power among creatures I control. 5 mana for, like, what? Get 4 lands? I guess it's not bad. I guess it's not bad. But it's not great either. I'll give it a B tier. This is definitely a card that I don't think is very good. But, I mean, if you draw, like, 4 lands out of your deck, that's not bad either. Okay, time for Super Chats are us. Starting with Kagan. Does Awakening Zone count? Absolutely, Awakening Zone counts. I think Awakening Zone is so cool. But for some reason, like, no one appreciates this card. It's a green 2 generic enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn that you can sack for a mana. Like, this is like make a treasure every turn, except you can block with the damn thing, okay? This can take a hit for the team. You can even buff these tokens if you have an Eldrazi Lord out or something like that. I like Awakening Zone. Apparently the rest of the world doesn't very much, so we're going to put it in the B tier. They don't understand, though. Oops. They don't understand the true power of Awakening Zone. Yeah, I think this card is cool. I used to play with it a lot a long time ago. Pays the fan forever with the cloth, this god of destiny. Another underrated card, 3 mana for a 4/5 indestructible. Now, if your devotion to red and green is less than 7, then it's just an enchantment on the battlefield. It's not a creature. But at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you exile target card from a graveyard, like any card. If it was a land card, you get a red or a green. Now, otherwise, you gain 2 life and deal 2 damage to each opponent. I like this card. I like this card a lot. I think it's underrated, underappreciated. A tier. Pejman says, there's a hole in the S tier. Moved guide. Also, Virtue of Strength to go with Nissa. I don't know how, hold on, can I select everything here? Oh, maybe I can. No, it doesn't work. No, can I select everything? Oh, I guess I can. No, it's not moving. Okay, whatever. There's a hole. What do you want? Move guide, also Virtue of Strength. Seven mana enchantment. If you tap a basic land for mana, it produces 3 times of that mana instead. But it is 7 mana. And it's got Garenbrig Growth. Sorcery. Return target creature or land card from your graveyard to the to your hand. Is that all? 7 mana is 7 mana, though. I don't know what you need all that mana for in the end. Alright, well. B tier. It's fine, it's good, or whatever. It's fine. Oh, I can move the channel here. Why am I being so stupid? Next super chat from Karibo. Am I crazy or did we forget the Great Henge in the Mana Rock episode? Maybe. Yeah, it's still relevant. The Great Henge. 9 mana. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Tap to add double green. And you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then draw a card. Great card. Very A-tier-ish. Very, very, very strong. Taking, how about Rose Thorn Acolyte? I don't know. What about them? Rose Thorn. Okay, we got 3 mana, 2/3. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Well, that side's pretty poop. And then pay a green, sorcery. Add 1 mana of any color. I think both sides are... Okay, both sides confirm poop. C tier. At least it's not straight trash, though. Am I right? At least it's not straight trash. Okay, Kagan. You want to redeem yourself? What is it going to be? Has anyone done the Dance of the Tumbleweeds? That doesn't sound like a ramp card. This is a 2 mana sorcery with Spree. Search your lab for pay 1. Search your library for a basic land card or a desert card put onto the battlefield. So 3 mana to get a land in play. +3, create an XX green elemental creature token where X is the number of lands you control. Choose 1 or more additional costs. Can I pay for the same mode twice? Like, that's allowed, right? So what, I can pay 4 mana to get 2 basic land cards in play? That's not bad. But I don't know if I choose one or more. I don't know if I'm allowed to use the same ability twice in Spree. I think it's like I can choose several. It's like Cryptic Command. You can choose one or more, but you can't choose the same thing over and over again. It's not a confluence. And for that reason, it's not very impressive to me. C tier. You can't choose the same mode twice unless you say so. I believe you. Pacers fan forever with the Metal Worker. Three mana, 1/2, tap, reveal any number of artifact cards in your hand. Add 2 colorless mana for each card revealed this way. And believe me, that's a lot of mana. You should reveal 5 colorless cards, basically add 10 mana. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. That being said, I don't actually think it's supremely broken. It's still a creature that has summoning sickness. You have to wait until next turn. You can interact with the activated ability, or it gets shut off by like Null Rod and stuff. Null Rod, Collector Oov. A lot of disadvantages to Metal Worker, so it's like a high risk, high reward type of card. Benovsky, my turn. Eldraine's Utopia Sprawl is beautiful. Oh. I was trying to say, like, did Eldraine have their own Utopia Sprawl? Utopia Sprawl. Apparently there was an Eldraine one? I guess this one? Enchant Forest enters the battlefield. Choose a color. Whenever Enchanted Forest is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional one of the chosen color. I think this is going to go in the very same direction as Wild Growth, where it's like a good but not great. I believe that was in here. For the B tier. Okay. Says K again. The Marching Duodrone. Two mana for a 2/2. When it attacks, each player creates a treasure token. But it's everybody. This is like a group hug type card. What is with this smile on its face? Does it know that it's gonna die? Well, it's probably not gonna die. I think this goes to the D tier. You're helping everyone! It attacks, each player creates a treasure token. Unless you have some sort of effect that says they can't create treasures and like anything that's made just goes under your control. Or something to that effect. Gideon with a Dockside Extortionist. Okay, this is 2 mana Goblin Pirate. You got artifacts. I have a million treasures now. S tier. Oops. Don't rotate that. T-House says, technically. Oh my god, T-House, you have the best avatar here today. What is that? Meryl, I think? Crozen Verge is ramp. Technically, and it searches triumphs and shocks. That doesn't make it ramp. Here's battlefield tapped. Tap dead colorless. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice it. Search your library for a forest card or plains card. Oh, and plains card. Put them onto the battlefield, tap and shuffle. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you are technically right. This is ramp. Is it good ramp? I don't know about that. It's okay. It's okay. C tier. What am I doing here? Path to exile if you do it your own creature. That is true. That is true. Mox Ruby. What are you people talking? Well, yeah, the Moxen. Okay, we have nothing to say about these. This is so weird. Yeah, this is why we need another S tier, a tier above the S tier. Mox Ruby just looks very silly, sitting across from all these other cards. Crowcore Games, with the Treasure Nabber. Probably won't count if it doesn't count. Spelunking on treasure nabber. And if that doesn't work, then we'll donate. No, I think spelunking might end up working. Okay, treasure nabber, 3 mana for a 3/2. Whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that artifact until your next turn. That is definitely not counting. It's more of a prison card than anything else. But spelunking, that is a card. I believe that works too. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. And if you put a cave onto the battlefield, you gain a whole 4 life around here. Lands you control enter the battlefield tapped. But you don't care because you're ramping. That is definitely a ramp card. It's not bad. It's not bad. I like spelunking. That could be an A tier card. Birds of Paradise. From Pedgeman. Honestly, don't think Birds of Paradise is very impressive these days. B tier. And that's being generous to Birds of Paradise, in my opinion. Oh, it comes into play untapped? Whoa, 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 whoa. Spelunking. Lands you control, enter the battlefield. Ah, yes, untapped. Not tapped, untapped! It's even better than it was before. Oh, what else do we have? Anyone not get a card? Damn! Path of Annihilation. Four mana Devoid Enchantment. Enters the battlefield, create 2 spawn creature tokens. Eldrazi you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. What a weird card! It's turning all the Eldrazi's into mana ramp. So what does that mean? We can like tap the tokens and then tap the tokens for mana and then sack them. Whenever you cast a creature spells mana value 7 or greater, you gain 4 life. Okay, then. Not terrible. B tier. What else? I think that's it. All right, everyone. Thanks. That's our tier list. We got all the busted ramp at the top. We have a good chunk of interesting ramp in the middle here at the A tier and B tier. So you're looking to fill your deck with some of them ramp spells. Why don't you go buy these cards? You like to ramp up. And I actually heard that ramp is broken. One of the reasons, like, green does so well over the other colors in Commander is, like, no one's blowing up lands because it's such a shunned upon thing. And if no one's blowing up lands, then mana ramp is the way to go. We do this show weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks so much for being here. And thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or super chat so other people can be part of the show. And thanks so much to my coffee crew for being here today. We got Yolchin, Crowcore Games, Benobsky, we got Gideon, Sheelan, Pacers Fan Forever, Restian Serpentine, Christopher B, Argent, Gideon, Kano. We got Lover of Jesus. David Sampson, Pedgeman, Old Boy, Ferginka. We got Bell, Mr. Deadhead, T-House. Who am I missing here? Maybe Gideon. Thanks so much for being here. And as usual, my coffee crew could keep brewing up them coffees. And we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.